High tech, they rise, no stress. Money boy on the beat. I see numbers on my screen. Green candles make me lean. My people, them they win. High tech, they flow like stream. Enough we go down. Now only we know. All my people gather round. Make we show them how we grow. High tech, na juju money. Juju money. Price they rise infinitely. My God, dash us this blessing. This blessing. Digital money no go rest, oh. No rest. Sharp pattern they confirm. Every trader they affirm. All time high no be ceiling. Market makers them they feeling. My brother check the stats. Numbers climbing like that. New record every day. High tech show them the way. Enough we go down. The only up we know. All my people gather around. Make we show them how we grow. High tech na juju money. Juju money. Price they rise infinitely. My God, that's just this.
All right. I think everything should be working fine, so we should be able to start right now. It has been quite an interesting day, even though it's Sunday. And okay, but let me introduce myself. My name is Hightech, of course, and I'm the creator of the Hightech meme coin. Sorry for that. It's distracting me a little bit here. Okay, so I'm the creator of the Hightech meme coin, and on these live streams, I talk about what just happened today in the cryptocurrency market, what do I think about it, and I comment on Hightech too. But first, before I continue, allow me to quickly confirm that the sound is working fine and the transmission is going well. Probably yes. The cryptocurrency market, what do I think? Yes, everything is working fine, so we can start. Okay, sorry guys to keep you waiting. That was my water. Let me turn on the recording and let's discuss. Let's discuss what we are dealing with here. Of course, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me in the live chat. I will try to respond the best I can, of course. And well, liquidations, of course, have jumped up, spiked up, tiny bit. Bitcoin $302 million, Ethereum $370 million in liquidations last 24 hours. Why? Because Bitcoin just dropped below 100k, due to the information that United States of America bombed Iran with their B-2 planes, dropping very, very heavy bunker busters there. And yeah, of course, that one is a little bit scary because, right now, Russia is also declaring that they are going to get involved into the conflict and they are going to support Iran with nukes, because those facilities that got bunker busted were actually serving to research around nuclear weapons, probably nuclear bombs, probably, or something similar, something among those lines, if not exactly. Something that definitely powerful in terms of destructive capability. So yeah, the global situation is definitely heating up, and as you see, cryptocurrency market is taking full advantage of it, introducing more volatility, a little bit more volatility than recent days, to the downside. Especially to the downside. That's the part we do not desire. But to be honest, if you explain me 2 years ago this scenario that is literally happening as we speak, as I speak, And if you were to ask me what will happen with crypto price, with Bitcoin price, the thing I definitely tell you is it definitely should look much worse. Should look much worse than this. Meanwhile, we are literally hanging around 100k. Like what worse can happen now? United States already dropped the bombs. Russia, China already said they are stepping in. They are going to get involved. Markets always try to predict situations 6 months prior. So if something really disasters were to happen, we will definitely know about it right now. And we will see, of course, tomorrow is going to be another important day, Monday, because tomorrow TradFi trades. But I think, honestly, I think that Bitcoin and crypto would give us early signs. What is about to happen in TradFi tomorrow. Yet, as you see, all we managed to drop has been minus 2.39%. So, yeah, of course, here on the daily we can see an M formation, which I have not discussed before. Why? Because in current geopolitical environment, I think it's a little bit too obvious for most of the people that there is a downside potential here. That is why most of people probably will be betting on it. And since this is a zero-sum game, it means there is no money there to grab, to take away from the majority by those most, let's say, powerful players on the field. So that is why I would not advise you, I would highly discourage you from shorting the market right now. I think it's going to backfire big time. Why? Because the situation is a little bit too obvious, meaning too many normal people are going to bet on this market to go down, and in zero-sum game, let's say, rules, majority never wins, right? Majority funds the reward. That's what I tend to say almost every single live stream. I try to induce it into your thinking that you should never follow the herd. And I think right now the easiest thing to do is to follow the herd. So that's why it's going to be a very punishing behavior in upcoming days. I think we are going to get a very powerful buyback of this. I don't see huge corrections happening now, like, I don't know, another minus 10, minus 15% or minus 20% from here. It will be very weird if that happens indeed. Why? Because that means the big players are dumping it at all cost. So that will be very very worrisome. And big players generally, they are very well informed, at the highest on the highest level what is happening, around the world. They have their intel. Usually they are very well informed which ways things can follow, which paths, which turns things can take. And yeah, I think if they were to dump it, it would have happened a long ago, right? So that's why I read this current situation. I read as a shaking out of that fuel retailers that are still, trading this, are still hanging around, and the overall interest, in this space is very low. So actually, there is not much money to make here. Dumping it, interest must be brought to the space. Dumping it, you cannot get further away from bringing interest, back again to the space. So that means doing so, there is simply no money, right? it's a very, very bad business for the big players right now to dump it, in my opinion. Even though, as you see on the daily, we are having an M pattern, I think is going to be one of the nastiest fake outs here. This M pattern, I think it suggests more or less that the correction could go as low as 92, the vicinity of 90,000, let's say. I'll be surprised if that happens. Of course, it can happen. If can it happen? Of course, it can happen. Everything can happen, but I will be definitely very, very surprised if that happens. Me myself, I'm out of the Bitcoin market right now, as you probably know, as you may remember from my last, previous live streams. So mind that, remember about it when I say anything, when I speak my mind here, when I try to make a forecast what is about to happen. Always remember I have my trading systems from navigating my own portfolio, my own trading systems, and they literally kicked me out of the crypto market almost entirely. I have very few positions open on literally handful of altcoins. Those positions are in profit, they are doing fairly well, but I have a very hard time imagining that we are going to revisit 90k. It can happen very well. Of course, I could be wrong on this. I've been wrong, for example, on Bitcoin dominance not going any higher. Bitcoin dominance, by the way, is one of those charts that likes to troll me. It loves to troll me because I've been preaching that this thing is going down for quite a while, and it keeps climbing up. At this point, what I was trying to identify here in form of inverse Adam and Eve formation went out of the window because we have risen way too high against this peak inverse Adam. So I think we cannot really speak about it in terms of this formation anymore. I will have to search for something else. This is on the daily, of course. The higher it goes, the closer it is to the peak, to the final peak. Of course, I have explained many times what's the mechanics of it. It's like literally with the speed of light. The closer we get to 100%, the increasingly more it becomes difficult to progress with every single next percent. So yeah, we already have risen quite a lot. Let's say in the light of literally World War III on the doorstep. I think we are at extreme point right now of Bitcoin dominance, because I mean, look what has it taken, what it took to bring us where we are right now. We are at almost 66% in the peak. We were at 65.87. So I don't know what else has to happen for this thing to go even higher. Like maybe literally some nukes have to be dropped, and that will be another, let's say, another trigger for rise in Bitcoin dominance. Other than that, I think we are literally at the extreme point of it, and at the extreme end, and we must be very close to a reversal, right? Because this thing has been breaking rules for way too long. Same on others. Others also speak strength, because once again, we are, theoretically speaking, we are on the doorstep of WW3, and that's not a resting organization I'm talking about here. and we're still above $195 billion, right? So that means that this zone I have marked here indeed is a strong support. Even though right now we are penetrating it, we are dipping our toes into it quite significantly. In my eyes, in these circumstances, in this reality, it screams strength. It screams that those things have been oversold, grossly oversold, and right now is the time to accumulate. Right now is the time to use this opportunity to your advantage. When people are completely disoriented, of course, don't go all in. I never advise you to go all in. Even with my own meme coin, which I advertise here, I promote here, I would never advise you to go all in, because why? There's always some probability that it can still go lower, and then you literally refuse yourself that way the option to the possibility to get it cheaper, right? This one, of course, in my eyes, in my mind, is literally the best deal on the entire internet right now. My own meme coin. So, in my opinion, this is a good advice to get yourself a $1, $2, $3 of it, something small, something that you will not sweat, as I say, and let it sit. I think it's going to serve you very, very well in upcoming several months. And yet, like I said, I would never tell you to go all in here. Absolutely not. So yeah, let's take a look at USDT D. USDT D, apparently, as you see, it was telling us that something is up. This one actually was telling us something is up, because it has been looking bullish for quite many days already, quite few days already, and I've been pointing it out. It actually looks good. I don't think it is going to play out in a bullish. That's what I was saying. I don't think it's going to play out in the most bullish fashion, but indeed, I must admit it looks bullish, right? Judging by the pure price action. And what do you know? Last 3 days, look what they've done, right? We have ascended a visible amount. We made a very visible move, 6.5%. That's nothing to neglect, nothing to belittle. We are probably right now at the version of another resistance. We could try to identify it here, 517 more or less, as you see, because here we come across an instance where it played a role here, of course, here on this week, and of course the whole time of here. So definitely it will try to put up a little bit of a fight. That is what I'm expecting from it. So this could be actually the end. I don't think we are going to get a larger uptrend from here. Theoretically speaking, I mean, we could follow even up to here, because then we have this giant W pattern here. I don't know why it is marked like that. Theoretically speaking, yeah, it is possible, but I still see it as something very carrying very low probabilities. But again, I could be very wrong on that. As you see, I've been wrong on a couple of things recently. Sometimes I get a period of getting things very right, and sometimes I will get a period of getting things very wrong. But whenever I think about the market, I'm trying to identify where the biggest interest lays on the side of the most powerful players on the field. And right now I just cannot come up with anything, literally with one single reason why they would be dumping it at this stage, to be honest. I mean, no, actually, I can come up only with one reason, and that is a full-scale nuclear conflict with worldwide potential. That's the only case. That's the only case, and I don't really think that what is right now going on in the Middle East is going to have that far-reaching far-reaching consequences. I think it's going to stay regional when it comes to kinetic part. When it comes to political part, of course, it's going to go worldwide. But the one we have to worry about is the kinetic part of the conflict, right? Where it happens literally physically. So yeah, a very tumultuous day, that's for sure. No, no doubt about that. If you guys have any questions, of course, write me in the live chat. I'll try to respond as soon as I notice that you have written anything. So sentiment from yesterday was 40, but I think today is going to be even lower. The amount of fear is going to be even greater. Let's take a look. Talking of fear, let's take a look at PAXG. So gold, it goes spiked up. So indeed, this one confirms there is a little bit more of authentic fear in the market, because as you see, the capital is escaping to gold, is running to gold. Gold is considered that safe haven asset, and because today is Sunday, so TradFi that they do not trade. PAXG is a tokenized gold, so this one gives us a 24/7 glimpse into what TradFi actually thinks. So yeah, if this keeps up like this until tomorrow's opening, then highly likely we are going to have a little bit of sell-offs on S&P. That potentially could fuel up a little bit more of downside on Bitcoin, on the Bitcoin part. But who knows? Maybe we are going to get a short squeeze. Maybe all of the bad is already calculated into Bitcoin, and that's why we'll have to just adjust to that. I don't think, and again, I don't think we are going to see any huge disasters tomorrow. Like I said, even though right now it looks like this information is resolving, I don't think we are going to get a huge corrections here as people expect. I think it's going to blow up in the faces of those that are shorting it right now, because like I said, I don't think it is going to be beneficial for the big players to introduce that much greater level of fear around Bitcoin. I think right now is the time to, let's say, demonstrate to the world. I think this is a very good moment, right? Strategically speaking, I think this is a very good moment to demonstrate to the world that Bitcoin is also a safe haven asset, which is which it is probably not. It probably will have to get battle tested many times, similar to this in upcoming years, in the years to come. But for the short term, I think is going to. I think the biggest gains right now in this sector is to demonstrate to TradFi that crypto can be a safe haven asset just like gold. And those that are shorting it right now, expecting a COVID crash 2.0, are going to get absolutely wiped out and smacked centrally in the center of their faces with a tough boot. With a tough boot underneath. So yeah, I could be totally wrong on that. Maybe that information is going to fully resolve, and we are going to go back around 90,000, maybe even below 90,000. But strategically speaking, I don't think that it is a smart move from the side of the big players. I think that would be very dumb to do. It would take a long time to rebuild the interest around, and a lot of money, definitely a lot of money to rebuild the trust around Bitcoin and cryptos from let's say a corporate side of investors, from institutional side. So I think the biggest win right now is to show them that you see Bitcoin, same as gold, it can be used for this type of scenarios. Whenever something like this happens, actually go for Bitcoin. Don't go for gold. Actually go for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is not physical. It's much easier to store, and it cannot be physically stolen. You don't have to pay for dozens of thousands of dollars for its storage, right? And you can send it whenever you want, however you want, to whomever you want. So it's just a much better alternative to gold. I think right now this is literally one, if not, no, this is the best opportunity to fix the narrative, to patch the narrative of cryptocurrencies, and and just strengthen it to a degree, to a degree that otherwise would be very, very difficult to achieve. So we'll see if they are going to make use of it, or they are going to completely ditch it. If they ditch it, I think it potentially could be a very bad sign, for especially if we drop like way below 90K. If we drop like I don't know, 20, 30, 40% from here, I think that could be potentially, so let's say to 80K, I think that could potentially be telling us that really bad things are ahead of us. Really, really bad things. That does not mean you won't be able to make money in this space. Absolutely not. Because what is valuable here to myself, for example, is the volatility. Is not at what price, what stands. Absolutely not. Is the volatility, that ability of this market to have very explosive moves, and on that you will be able to keep making money even in a deep, let's say, depression. Not even recession, a depression. This market will always keep the volatility in the pocket, and therefore, for example, that is why I'm not fearing of any world scenario, because this one is of cross borders. Even if one one exchange goes down, then another one will pop up in some safer part of the world, and the sector will continue to live. On top of that, DEX has become better and better, mainly thanks to Solana. So a completely decentralized network. So yeah, trading will be possible on those platforms at all conditions, at all circumstances. Okay, maybe let's go over to my X timeline. Let's see what is going on here. If I can add anything here to the picture. I think I have spoken about all of the charts I could discuss. Right here, let's take a quick look at Ethereum. Ethereum was holding on very nicely above 2400, as you see. But yeah, with what has happened today, as you see, it actually fell below. So once again, it needed quite a big caliber of things. I mean, of news, of negative news to achieve this. Which again, in my opinion, that actually speaks strength. And I think we should see a recovery sometime in the next few days. I think until Tuesday we are going to be fine here. Many people were betting on Ethereum going higher. What we can tell by liquidation levels, right? going way beyond what Bitcoin has gone to, and yeah, that's why I keep telling you guys, do not use leverage, do not trade leverage. Leverage will always get you broke if you are not absolutely killing it with spot trading, like literally murdering it day after day after day for a whole year. Then forget about leverage trading, and then leverage trading is going to literally eat you alive. And as you see, many people, they do not listen, because 370 million, almost $71 million has been lost today. So yeah, it just gives you way too narrow margin of error, and it's just not wise to use it, because with such volatile market as cryptocurrency market, there's plenty of money to be made on altcoins, let's say, uh, without the risk of liquidation. They are definitely volatile enough without the risk of liquidation. And here, the margin of error is super narrow. Market is very, very volatile, so that adds up to the whole risk that you take, and it ends up literally like this: 370, almost $1 million lost to exchanges today. Completely unnecessary. Okay, let's go over to my X account. So as you see, yeah, people are panicking. Breaking Bitcoin falls below 100K. This is on the news that Iran's parliament voted to close the Straits of Hormuz. Oh, okay. So now we can even narrow it down to a certain event. I mean, at least this is what people are guessing. Why? Because the Straits of Hormuz is quite significant for global economy. A lot of oil that is exported from that region, from those regions, passes through there, and it's under Iran's control. I think right now also Chinese Navy has joined there. But to be honest, I mean, knowing how bad Chinese Navy is, I think once Americans visit those areas, they're going to wipe up everything clean, and it's going to be open again, because Chinese government, they flex muscles, but their navy is literally made of carton. Is the amount of corruption that is omnipresent in Chinese government, in Chinese whatever, is absolutely astonishing. It penetrates literally all levels of the government, including strategic sectors as the military. So that's why, for example, the navy, the quality of the materials the navy is made out of is a complete trash. It's a complete trash, and if you follow the topic, like for example, some boats bumping into their destroyers on the Philippine Sea were making serious dents, right, in their supposedly undestructible boats, right? So so that is why I think that one is going to last until Americans visit those waters, and that's it. But as you see, it's an opportunity for market makers to introduce a little bit more of negative volatility. They cause cascades of liquidations. They grab that money. It's a very easy cash to make, and and they are definitely not ignoring that food laying on the table, right? Because I mean, let's be honest, like it's not even the volatility from today is on Bitcoin is not exceeding 3%. So yeah, we are in a downtrend. Yes, we went below 100k back again. That's that's not good, of course. But I would expect something much worse than this. If, like I said, if 2 years ago somebody explained me what is going to happen. Cointelegraph. 1.0 dollars liquidated in 24 hours. Longs lost $903 million. Yeah, that was 53 minutes ago. Yeah, people that were longing $903 million, almost 1 billion, quite a bit, and most of it on Ethereum, surprisingly. Hodge twins. Well, this ain't good. The Iranian parliament has just ordered the closing of Strait of Hormuz. Over 20% of global oil production flows through this strait. Yeah, that's why. That's why globally, for the global economy, it has some significance. Probably tomorrow we are going to see oil prices spiking up, and for some countries that is opportunity, of course, as well, to increase their oil production to fill up the gap, fill in the gap among few. I think United States of America belongs to that circle. Crypto bees. Bitcoin is crashing hard. Do not get shaken out. Yeah. I think you should be buying the dip, to be honest. But again, do not go all in. Always leave a little bit of dry powder on the side, because we don't really know. We never know how deep this thing can go. I could be very wrong on my estimations. Me, I'm out of this market already. On 1 hourly, my trade has closed a while ago. I was showing it here, as you remember, and that trade has finalized with almost plus 20%. And right now, as you see, we are way below the level of my exit. So mind that. If you consider following my suggestions here, always remember I do not trade based on what I think I see in the charts. I have my own trading systems from it. I mean, for it, and as you see, they perform remarkably well. They literally put the bread on my table for long years already. So yeah, and indirect exposure, of course, to my system you can gain through my meme coin, because I mean the moment I make significant gains here or there, I reinject that liquidity into my meme coin here. So that's why I say this is probably one of the best trades you can make on the internet right now. Allocate a little bit into here. I've been repeating it already like 5 times on this very live stream, and I repeat it very often on every single one, because it's true. It's literally true. And within several months from now, you will discover that I know what I'm talking about. Same as I knew what I was talking about when my meme coin was costing a couple of dollars. It's $121 now. So yeah. How long have I been talking to you guys now? 36 minutes. I don't know why I have an impression like I've been talking for 1 hour, which is kind of funny. What else we have here? Kush. What is he predicting? Kush is predicting that we are going to bounce. We're going to bounce soon and keep going up. Yeah, I say the same. I say the same. What's this orange? That was 3 hours ago, so Michael Saylor probably is buying more. Fear mongering that we are dropping below 100k. Billionaire Kevin O'Leary says Bitcoin is about to explode with trillions of dollars coming soon. It's happening. Kevin, he has record when it comes to forecasting, cryptocurrency market. Usually when he's super bullish, we are at the top, but now I'm stating with a very high degree of certainty that is most likely not the case. Joe Burnett. Halfini foresaw the rise of Bitcoin treasury companies. Yeah, Halfini in 2010. This guy. Yeah, I think he died in 2014 or something like that. In my opinion, he was Satoshi Nakamoto. I think the evidence is quite obvious by now. Look on chain. Aguila Trades just closed his Bitcoin long with another 17 million loss yet. The guy is absolutely unbelievable. But not only him. That's literally the experience when you go leverage trading. Do not trade leverage. Never allow yourself to get convinced to trade leverage. It's going to wipe you out completely clean. Don't screenshot with famous people like your posts. Okay. Enough. I don't think I was ever guilty of that. Or at least I do not remember any instances of me posting. Maybe if I wanted to like make a small joke about it, then yes. But other than that, no. I never was impressed by, so-called famous people. I was never huge fan of anyone's. I can be a fan of someone's work, but I would never consider a cult of somebody. Bob Lucas, the no war administration is at war with Iran. Yeah, that one is actually funny in its own way. Markets won't like it. S&P is 11 weeks into a cycle that has seen a big run up to resistance. Looks like a period of risk off is likely until this hopefully settles down. Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point. That yeah, we are at a resistance because we are in the vicinity of previous all-time highs. So that's a natural resistance. So let's see how this one goes. I still think there is high probability that it will keep going up because of how many people will be betting on it going down. And again, this is a zero-sum game. So those that lose here fund the reward. So I think there will be just more money on the side of squeezing the shorts here rather than allowing things to, go to the gutter. Anthony Pompliano, do you support a war against Iran? No, definitely. I don't think anyone will support it. Okay. Oh, yeah, there's 15%, right? Show results 23%, 60% absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think those things should be worked from the inside with the intelligence agencies, not head on like this. This is very risky. I think this is unnecessary, and I also think it's way too expensive for the global economy. Walker, now would be a good time to get some Bitcoin. That was 13 hours ago. Harder to believe it. It's more difficult to believe it. When the prices go down, people are very fearful into it. People want things to be rising, and then they feel comfortable. They think that they are in the trend. That is going to be long lasting. But the biggest reward is when you're actually buying the dip, not when you're into an uptrend. Bitcoin is crashing hard. Do not get shaken out. This one we've seen already. Putin was asked why he's not assisting Iran. His response: Israel today is almost a Russian-speaking country. 2 million people from the Soviet Union and Russia live there. We take that into account. Okay. Wow. I didn't know. I didn't know that was the situation in Israel. But since Putin says that, just divided by two, because this guy is one of the biggest bull crappers that you will find. I think he stands next to Xi Jinping. They are really worth of each other, and I know he has been teasing a lot the conservatives recent years. I'm a conservative myself, but I have a little bit better knowledge of the history, and I come from a country that has dealt with Russia and their propaganda for decades. So I have it a little bit easier to see, through all of the bullcrap. Arcon Daily, $370 million liquidated from crypto market in last hour, but that was 18 hours ago, so outdated now. Fox. Iran strikes were planned in a complete silence. Fox News reporter Jennifer. Yeah, of course they had to be planned. I mean, you don't make operations like this from 1 hour to another, right? You don't come up with them in 1 hour and then execute them. Of course, it had to be planned for at least days, if not weeks. All right, guys, allow me to wrap it up. Let me rephrase what I already said. I think maybe tomorrow we're going to get additional negative volatility. Are going to calm down much quicker than you can imagine. I do not advise you. I discourage you from shorting shorting the market right now. I think the potential of it backfiring is immense right now, because literally everyone will try to short it. So a short squeeze is literally, I can smell it. It's in the air. It's in the air, and people will be expecting COVID crash 2.0, and that makes it very unlikely that we are going to get it, because again, financial markets for 99.99% of the time act like a zero-sum game. So majority funds the minority, and that is why if you join the herd, you will be losing money. And the herd right now is ultra bearish. So just consider that. So get yourself a little bit of my meme coin, $1, $2, $2, $3 worth. I think this is, and I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but it's literally what I think. This is the best trade on the internet right now that you can take. Why? Because this market is so small, and it already has risen from $1 to $121. I think you cannot get a better proof than this, that there's something there, right? There's something in it, because otherwise it would not have such achievement on its account. So if you invest $1 or $2 or $3, and I'm wrong, and I'm completely wrong about it, nothing is going to happen to you. If I'm right, you can literally get a couple of grants from it. Who knows? Maybe even few dozens of grants, right? So I think win-lose ratio is literally stupidly good here. So link in the description section of this live stream to the liquidity pool of this meme coin, and what it's on Solana. Whatever you have on Solana that has liquidity, you can swap it for a little bit of this one. So yeah. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for your time, and hopefully I see you sometime tomorrow. Cheers.